Listen, I'm easy to find.
And then they can kiss my ass.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Nathan back with another video presentation. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all staying safe. This is episode 7, season 9 of Big Nate Sports Talk. The work week is going smooth for you. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Before we get into it, there's a few things that I would like to say up front. I have all the episodes downloaded, remaining in season 8. I'm going to upload season 9. We'll upload some of that today. And you should be caught up with season 8 on Spotify. You should be caught up with that. And also, to season 9, the first seven episodes. So you should be caught up on that. Baltimore Orioles, we will talk about that. There'll probably be a video tonight, if not tomorrow. But it'll probably be tonight because we're kind of almost at the halfway mark for the All-Star game. We're about next month is the All-Star game. So vote now. If you're not ready for your MLB All-Stars, MLB.com. Definitely vote. There's really not much going on in the NFL right now. Like I said, it's training camp. Deshaun Watson, last night they came out and said it recommended that he be suspended for the season. But that has not been confirmed as of yet because he has a hearing with the NFL. We're going to keep our eyes on that. The draft happened. Free agency is like less than a couple weeks away for the NBA. Um, kind of starting to Things are kind of starting to fall in place a little bit. So it's going to be kind of a slow season because it's kind of the transition because we're going in from now basketball's off season, getting ready for football, and we're still in the middle of baseball, and then don't forget to get WNBA, and then college sports are also is coming up as well. So um, also too, it was yesterday, Brittany Griner's hearing. The trial date was set for July 1st. That's Friday. It didn't even last 40 minutes with no representative from the U.S. Embassy. Look to watch the video of her going in the courtroom and coming out the courtroom. It's been extended for 6 more months. I think that's disgusting. Uh, Today is now 131 days. I talked about this yesterday. Watched that video. That was very, very sad. Sad. It was heartbreaking because she can't tell us, how she's doing. Her wife. Like they couldn't even. It should bother you that her wife couldn't even get in contact with her because of there was nobody in the office to arrange the phone meeting. Uh, and I think we need to call on everybody, all the representatives. It's interesting to really see how they're treating her with the situation. I think it's disgusting. If this was anybody else that was not Brittany Griner, they're in the NBA, NFL. I hate to say that, but that's true. If that was anybody else, this would not be happening. Um, but I said it yesterday. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I do see her coming home, but we just gotta just really put pressure on our representatives, our politicians. They really gotta focus on getting her home. They really do. So, praying for Brittany. So, using the title of the video, the Washington Mystics ended a 3-game road trip with a W against the Las Vegas Aces in overtime. Woo! The final score was, first and foremost, it should not have been the way it was. 87 Mystics, 86 Aces. It took us overtime to win that game. I thought it should not have even gotten to overtime. I thought the game was getting too close. I feel like we had the game well in our hands. Our offense after the first two road trip games, particularly against the Los Angeles Sparks, the offense we just struggled to find the offense. And then come Saturday, it clicked. Even though it took an extra 5 minutes to win the game, that's okay. Now, unfortunately, I did not get the opportunity because after, I'm a part of the Washington Mystics media. So pre-game, post-game, and even practice, they have these media availabilities. And the post-media game, we did not have the opportunity to get on the Zoom because there was a fire in the building. From what shout out to Kareem Copeland, because he travels with the team. They said you could smell the smoke, and there was a haze over the court. So I really do hope everyone is okay. Everyone's safe. Nobody was hurt. But the team was told to pack up their stuff and leave as soon as possible. So there was no media. But coming into this game, even in the pregame, there was something you had to take away. You had to take away something from Las Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas is the number 1 ranked offense in the W. I mean, when you look at the Aces, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Asia Wilson, I mean, this is a team that they're a run and gun offense. they can beat you pretty much with any way. You had to take something away, whether it was the pick and roll, whether it was getting somebody in foul trouble, being tight on the defensive end and just making shots. And that's something the Washington Mystics did. Now, going into the second quarter, particularly, I want to highlight that. We took our first lead, and we didn't trail after that. The game was tight, but we never wavered. I was concerned in terms of the shooting because this offense, it didn't look. The Mystics offense did not look like the same offense last two games. Because to me, coming into this game, it's you have to get uncomfortable because it just seemed like there was no urgency. I'm not, saying no one, showed signs of quitting. We needed some consistency. I think that was my key. If you paid attention with the first game against Los Angeles, it was being consistent on the road, and it's like this has probably been some of the best basketball. That was probably some of the best basketball I saw from them. I'll say the last 2-3 weeks. I mean, shooting under 50%. The ball movement was nice. Even though they turned the ball over 18 times, they still made shots. I still think that's an area of weakness the Washington Mystics have to clean up is the turnovers. Other than that, everything was crisp. Everything was smooth. Everybody was in communication. Everybody did their thing. Now, when you look at the game as an entirely, I'm bringing up the box score. Elena Delle Donne had 19 points, 10 rebounds, and dropped 5 blocks. I think she's now the second player. I think Emma's the only one that's done that. And I think the second player, I think Emma was, 15, 10, and 5, if I'm not mistaken. Natasha Cloud, she extended her streak of assists. Shakira Austin, she needs 18 more games to beat Shamika Osclaw's rebounding record for most in a game. I think she needs 18 more games. She can break that. When you look at the Mystics, the couple things that concerned me was the offense. You had to take away something, and they did that. I thought the keys to beating the reason we won that game was you look at A'ja Wilson, for example. A'ja Wilson, she had 2 early fouls. Now, this is the same Las Vegas Aces team that blew a 28-point lead against the Chicago Sky.
What the hell?
So this team needed to obviously recap. And I feel like some of it kind of trickled into this game.
What was that? What the hell was that? I'm sorry the H words and the D words aren't appropriate over the airways, but it's going to be today. I don't know how much more of this I can take. How in God's name?
They did not start off the game well. A'ja Wilson picked up 2 fouls within the first 4 minutes of the game, which made Becky go to her bench early. Her first option was Kia Stokes, who actually did pretty well, but she also got 2 quick fouls as well. Then she got her first round pick, Ilana Rapport, and she did actually pretty well. But also too, if you look, there was a bit of time on the defensive side, especially with A'ja not there. And I understand she's a rookie, but she was getting more minutes, and she looked a little lost. Okay, a little bit. I thought also too the floor spacing Las Vegas did against us was not that great. When you had Shakira Austin, Elena, Alicia Clark, Tosh, and Ari Atkins. That space is the lineup, and that front court's tough. Now, when you look at our guards, they pretty much did all the dirty work. Natasha, Ariel, and Alicia. In the first half, I mean, Las Vegas on the defensive side of the ball, they struggled to make the adjustments on the defensive side of the ball at all. Like, between those three, they combined for 30 points of our 46 first half points. And then also, too, they shot 6 or 12 from three. And I think also, too, our floor spacing, we moved the ball, again, like I said, it was moved especially well in the first half. 15 of our 18 points came off field goals that were assists, because we had 24 assists in that game. Natasha Cloud had 10. But when you look at the aces, I'm looking at the box score. You know, it's kind of interesting how Kirsten Bell, Cindy Colston, Asia Shepherd are not getting minutes. She's relying on her starting five a little too heavily, and I'm not sure if she's taking advantage of the way the scheduling is this year. When I look at the fact that Dearica Hamby had 5 points and played 39 minutes, that can't happen. Chelsea Gray had 12 points, 5 of 17. That can't happen. This was just a poor shooting night. I thought the ball movement should have been a lot more smoother for Las Vegas. I didn't see that. This was for a number one ranked offense, the best team. They didn't look like it last night. Second night.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's embarrassing. And I'm ticked off. It don't make any sense. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And something needs to be done about it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Excuse me, right back. I do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. As I was stating, that was some things that I saw going throughout the game. Now, Las Vegas Aces, they didn't give up neither. They came. They attempted to make a comeback. I thought the game was over when Ariel Atkins put the 2 free throws away with 14 seconds, and then Jackie Young.
Good Lord, thank the good Lord I am on FCC airwaves. I thank the good Lord. It's hard to take, man.
Hit a step back 3 and tied the game.
What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
I did not understand that defense situation. I felt like Shatori should have really just stayed in front of her. Instead, it looked like a push-off to me, but it tied the game, went to overtime. But then it was really weird. We had the ball with like 4 seconds left, and I don't know if the play broke. I don't know who the play was for. I don't know if it was for Elena. I don't know if it was for Ariel, but Maisha takes the ball. She's taking it to the rim and attempted to do a fadeaway.
I mean, this is some bad stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I just don't know.
I'm just kidding. That was my reaction. I was like, you know what? I don't know if it was a broken play. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Maisha. I don't know if that was an actual play. It just broke. I don't know. I felt like the play was for her to go to the rim on a pick and roll to me, but it looked like Las Vegas. I noticed they looked like they were playing. I felt they were playing like a 2-3 zone or 3-2 zone. That's what I saw. But she didn't make the shot and went overtime. When you looked at the game going overtime, it was Las Vegas had all the momentum. Just in the 2.5 minutes, the Washington Mystics practically scored. I mean, they opened up a 7-3 run in overtime. The final going into overtime was 84-80, and then the Aces just had there's no answers. They just had no answers whatsoever, and that was another thing too. They faded. I was really sitting here thinking like, okay, they're going to win this game in overtime. I mean, the fact that we scored only 4 points in 2.5 minutes of overtime on 2 free throws by Natasha Cloud and Era Atkins Jay. Derek Hamby fouled out. Kelsey Plum hit a step back 3, and then drew an and 1. And then Chelsea Gray, she had missed a midi. And then Kelsey Plum tried to heave up a 3, but it was blocked. However, Asia Wilson hit a half-court shot to bring it to 86.
I'm not going to even sit here and act like I didn't know this was coming, or act like I know this was coming, because I did it.
I was like, wow. But that was the game. I mean, I think that arguably had to be probably the best game of the year. That felt like a playoff game to me. It did. But I mean, those are what I took away from the game. It was a great win. It was a much needed win. I felt like from a morale perspective and from a morale perspective, because just looking like, particularly when I asked, it was after the Seattle game, I asked Ariel Atkins, she just looked, Ariel, who is an Olympian, he's a champion, just looked very frustrated. And I think she knows this team can do better. And I think they can do better. It's just, I think you just gotta, it's Charles Barkley said, I think Moses Malone said, Charles Barkley said, Moses Malone said, sometimes guys need to be pat on the butt. Sometimes guys need to be kicked in the butt. Sometimes you gotta let guys know, hey, this is what's we come on, we gotta pick each other up, and that's what I liked in this game. We never quit, and we stuck with it. Now, when you look at the Las Vegas Aces, the number 1 ranked offense shot under 40% from the field, and they shot under 42, compared to us, where we shot under 50% from the field and under 40% from the 3. Again, you got 7 of 13, a 1 of 7, 6 of 16, 7 of 18, 5 of 17, and you're not getting a lot of production. You're not really using your bench well, which I don't really understand what's that all about. I don't get that. Points in the paint, we did a really good job with that. Even though the Aces had 10 more points in second chance points than we did. They had more fast break points. Shots just weren't falling for Vegas. And just one of those nights. I feel like, again, I don't think the league, I don't think they're figured out. I just think that you got to make the adjustments. You have to trust your coach. You have to trust your coach to make those adjustments. So I think it's a little bit of both players and Becky Hammon. I think you have to learn how to make adjustments. I hadn't seen that. And I don't think that blowing a 28-point lead from Chicago was a fact. I just think just not making the adjustments, that really showed.
I mean, this is some bad stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I just don't know. This is ridiculous. Oh, Lord.
So I do believe the Las Vegas Aces will get it together. They did win. They did win last night against Los Angeles Sparks. So look, I just think we're a team is going to have a games like that. I mean, it happens. But I still think that they're still the best team in the league. I think they're still going to go to the championship, and we're just going to accept that. But I feel like this notion that they're figured out. That's I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I think that's ridiculous.
Bullshit.
They're not figured out. They're not. I'm being honest. They're not figured out. Now we play the Atlanta Dream tonight. We'll be on ESPN on ESPN. That's what I like to call it, on ESPN. 7:00. So our third game against them. I'm sorry, ESPN2. Excuse me. That's be our third game against Atlanta. We're 2-0 against them. Nia Coffey's out. She's questionable. Christy Wallace is out with a concussion. She's questionable. Erica Wheeler's dealing with a foot injury. She's questionable. And Tiffany Hayes, who I feel like the Atlanta Dream haven't really, I feel like really were not upfront with her injury. She's out with a knee injury. So I feel like she'll be back after the All-Star break more than likely. Last time we saw this team, we're coming home. Well, first of all, we're coming home. We'll be home for just this game. And then we got to go to Connecticut on the 3rd of July. Back home, 1-3. Looking to go 3-0. The Mystics, as recently as of yesterday, they signed Avina Westbrook. So Avina, welcome to the nation's capital. Avina was drafted in the second round of this year's draft. I think she'll fit really well right into the rotation. Now, biggest thing the Mystics have to do is just stay consistent. And I don't know where, and it takes a couple games. And one thing you've noticed with this offense, it's not consistent. With the rhythm and chemistry, I get when you don't have Elena in there, you have an injury here or an injury there, mess up the rotation. But I feel like when you don't stick to the game plan and you try to compete with the same team, that's not going to win basketball games. Play your own game, play your own pace. That is the key when you're to win basketball games. That's just a fact. You're not going to just win basketball games shooting or trying to take over. That can't happen. The Washington Mystics, they should win this game. They should, because you don't really you're coming off of a big win, but also against an Atlanta Dream team has kind of slipped a little bit, because when you look at the Atlanta Dream, the biggest issue is that they struggle to close games. Now they lost. The Dream lost Sunday, and they're kind of hard to figure out. So they lost to Connecticut on Sunday, and they've now lost 6 of their last 7. Aria McDonald, she's at the last 11 games, she's actually leading the team in scoring. And also they're on a 5-game road losing streak. Now, when we look at the game against Connecticut, they only had 22 first half points.
What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
And then Coach Wright, she said in the postgame, she knows that the offense has to get better. When you look at the Dream, I think they have all the pieces. I don't think – see, and this is what bothers me when people say, if you go out and get Brianna Jones or if you go out and get this player. Free agency is great, but when you have a young core of players, you've got a Naz Hillman, you've got a Ryan Howard, you've got a Cheyenne Parker. Let's develop the core that we have. Let's give another year. Let's rebuild. I don't want to bring in a free agent or two and they start developing bad habits. You want those bad habits to develop into good habits. What I mean is that this Dream team has shown that it can compete, but it's not ready yet. Yeah, you've got some dogs. You got some veterans. You got an Erica Wheeler who can ball. You've got some veteran leadership in Kia Vaughn. You got a potential all-star Cheyenne Parker. You got Monique Billings there. Outside of that, this roster, they're babies. I mean, they're young, and you want to develop that and not rush them. So I feel like let's develop. I'd like to see them develop one. Somebody that can help them close games, and that's not just Ryan Howard out there doing it by herself. Now, Coach T, I don't know if Elena will play or not. We'll find out today in the pregame media availability. Because this will be technically her first home game since the 19th. So, but they have the plan, whether or not they want to start her or not. But I think, again, offense, looking for some consistency on the offensive side of the ball. If the Washington Mystics can do that, they will beat the Atlanta Dream. I'm not too concerned about anything in terms of injuries because the injury report, everybody's back. The only one that did not play in that game Saturday was Tiana Hawkins. But he made it clear, I think it was, I did ask him about that. And, somebody won't play a game, and, someone's going to sacrifice. If you're trying to win a championship, it's all about sacrifice. So I believe the Washington Mystics will beat the Atlanta Dream tonight, 83-65.
Guaranteed.
With that being said, I'm going to close out the video with this. So I feel like as a Mystic fan, I can speak on this. If you've not paid attention, Tina Charles Saturday or Sunday this weekend was in the news. Tina Charles and the Phoenix Mercury decided to come to a divorce.
What the hell?
I understand Tina Charles has been on 5 teams. Not going to deny that. Tina Charles has not been on a team where it's been consistent winning. Connecticut, they were close. She got traded to New York. Those first few years in New York, they were winning. But as the years after Bill Laimbeer left and Kathy Pondexter left, they weren't a good team. And she was traded here to the Washington Mystics. She didn't play because of COVID. She wasn't medically cleared. Here was her first year with us. By all accounts, she was the scoring champion. Now, I totally understand from the standpoint of carrying the load offensively and things like that. However, I feel like when you have a team that was dealing with injuries, you did not have Alicia Clark, you did not have Elena Delle Donne, you had Natasha Cloud, who was out for an extended period of time, Erica McCall, excuse me, who I had here on the podcast, dealing with injuries. And also, too, you're bringing on pieces that really don't fit this system. I mean, we had Shavonte Zellis, Megan Gustafson, Sydney Weiss. I mean, those I can name those on and on. Team wasn't good, whether we want to accept it or not, with the injuries. Elena Delle Donne, she only played one game. And that one game, we won. But Tina is focused on winning. Now, she made it clear she wants to win a ring, and I respect that. However, she had the option of between Seattle and Phoenix. I was not fond of her going to Phoenix because I just don't think when you have a lineup with Scarlett that features Skylar Diggins-Smith, Diana Taurasi, Diamond DeShields, Brianna Turner, Tina Charles, and Brittany Griner, somebody who had to sacrifice something. And Tina, I think some of it also too, she's a post stretch 5. That's the best way I can explain. She's a post first, and you can stretch the floor. I do feel like she has shown tendencies that she does too much. It doesn't trust others, but she can get people involved. I thought the way Phoenix came out, I think first and foremost, there's a lot of stuff that happened off the court versus on the court. You have Sandy Bordello, after 8 years, leave, and you're hearing we need a new voice in the locker room. That doesn't make sense. You've been successful all these 8 years. You were just in the WNBA finals, and your coach leaves after 8 years. Something's not right with that. You bring on a new head coach, Vanessa Nygaard, who I love and I respect. I think for all the shit she's been through, I gotta give her her flowers. You're seeing a lot of stuff on the court. When you see Skylar Diggins-Smith and some of it, like I forgot who they're playing. They're playing the Aces. That's who they're playing. And literally snaps on the bench, goes out to Diana Taurasi. That's a red flag. Number 2, the Phoenix Mercury, from a defensive perspective, you really shouldn't be relying on Diana Taurasi to play defense. But that's not her. I'm just saying depth. That's what I'm trying to say. Injuries. You don't have Kia Nurse. I think Sophie Cunningham was dealing with injuries as well. So you don't have those things. It's a new system. You have to take those things into consideration. And then I'm going to keep it real. When a lot of it is the team, and it's Tina and the team. Everyone's got to sacrifice something. Where you see Tina visibly upset, she's not getting touches on the ball, and Vanessa Nygaard is not trying to make the adjustments. When you're not all in as a cohesive unit, and you're not sacrificing for one another, and that tells you there's egos, and that's just not going to fly. That's not going to win championships. You've got to put your pride to the side. The common goal is to win games, to win championships. I've been very clear on that. I don't know, but today's athletes, this notion we're winning, but it has to be my team. That's not going to win games at all. And I don't care if that's in baseball, that's in basketball, that's in football. You're not going to win that. You're not going to win games with that kind of attitude. Plain and simple. I think also too, when you look at the Phoenix Mercury, they've really disappointed. But also too, I think for people to be also calling for Vanessa Nygaard's job, that ain't cool, because this is a new coach, a new system. This notion that, well, you kind of have all the pieces together. No, she does not. I mean, injuries, a new system, they should be helping her. But also, too, I would like Vanessa Nygaard to kind of put her foot down, because I feel like sometimes they kind of step all over her in a sense when it comes to, effort. I think Skylar Diggins has said, you can't coach effort. Hey, if you're not going to be out there, if you're not all in, you can sit right next to me. I'll put somebody else out there that's going to give me effort. You saw the Phoenix Mercury the other night give me effort against the Indiana Fever. Now, however, I think the way it was handled, I really wish she would have said, okay, you know what? I want to be traded. Or let's have a players meeting. Let's talk about this. But people are saying she didn't handle it well. My question, and this is a question, and I want you to understand this. How would you have felt if you're on a team where you're not winning, and on top of that, you've gone to your coach and you're saying, Coach, I'm not getting the touches, I'm not getting any of these things. What am I? What is this? Your role is not defined. This is more like it's just, okay, we've got this pieces being plugged in here and there. And also, too, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like with Brittany Griner not there, I think mentally wearing on them. You can tell. But they're playing hard. They're playing for her in a way. And I respect that. Now, Tina has every right to leave. She took a pay cut. I wish her all the best in Seattle. But there's going to have to be some sacrificing. that's just going to have to be plain. Somebody's going to lose some minutes and get their feelings hurt. But that's the whole point of winning championships and winning basketball games. You sacrifice for each other. And will it work in Seattle? We'll see. But this notion that she's the problem.
Bullshit.
I don't want to hear that. She's not the problem. It's just, unfortunately, she's been on crappy teams where she has to do it all. And here was a situation where, if you think about it, like, wow, that's a championship contender. And then all of a sudden, you're dealing with injuries, a new coach, a new system. There's a lot of stuff you had to take into it. And you could just tell she just wasn't on board, unfortunately. But I do wish her all the best in Seattle. I believe she'll do well. But come on now. I think for people to get on Tina Charles like that on social media, come on, we're better than that. But until then, that's going to end the episode. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Be tuned in for future episodes. Like I said, the Baltimore Orioles are playing tonight against the White Sox. Yes, I believe it's the White Sox. Haven't more time ahead. But until then, this is Nathan signing off. I will catch you guys on the flip side.
You know, it is what it is. It's so great to be great.
Listen, I'm easy to find.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.